Sure, you beat me badly.
That's the way politics works sometimes. We try really hard to persuade people that we're right. And then people vote. And then if we lose, we learn from our mistakes. We do some reflection. We lick our wounds. We brush ourselves off. We get back in the arena. We go at it. We try even harder the next time. The point, though, is that we all go forward with a presumption of good faith in our fellow citizens.
What's that, Jazzy?
That presumption of good faith is essential to a vibrant and functioning democracy. That's how this country has moved forward for 204 years. That's how we've pushed boundaries and promoted freedom around the world. That's how we've expanded the rights of our founding to reach all of our citizens. It's how we have come this far. And that's why I'm confident that this incredible journey that we're on as Americans will go on. And I'm looking forward to doing everything that I can to make sure that the next president is successful in that. I've said before, I think of this job as being a relay runner. You take the baton, you run your best race, and hopefully by the time you hand it off, you're a little further ahead. You've made a little progress. And I can say that we've done that, and I want to make sure that handoff is well executed, because ultimately, we're all on the same
You guys
page.
like your new toy?
All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
That is President Barack Obama walking back into the White House with Vice President Joe Biden by his side, delivering a speech in which he indicated that he would make this transition for Donald Trump as seamless as possible. You heard him reference his own transition, the handover from former President George W. Bush, which was, by the way, widely praised by people on both sides of the aisle. The president acknowledging that everybody is sad when their side loses an election, and pointing to the need for the country to unify after what he called a long and hard-fought campaign. I want to bring in Chris Jazzy, who was watching the president's speech, who is at the White House now. And Chris, what seemed notable to me was the striking contrast between what we have heard these last couple of months from Barack Obama on the campaign trail, from President Obama out campaigning for Hillary Clinton, and then the tone he struck today. It's night and day.
Yeah, and I thought it was...
You like it, Jazzy?
...piece of really political craftsmanship.
How you like it, Jazzy?
Message away directly to his supporters, who he knows, because he's been out there for the last month. He's been in those crowds of many thousands of people who are screaming for him. And the message was, the world is not coming to an end. He knows that that's how they feel. He said, the sun
You're so
is
silly,
coming up.
Jazzy.
And he said, we all go forward with a presumption of good faith. A very different tone, but a similar message to what we just heard from Hillary Clinton. And remember, as you said, this is coming from someone who had been questioned in his legitimacy as president by the president-elect, who had led the birther movement, who called Obama a disaster, who called him the most ignorant president in history, and who himself believed, and still believes, we presume, that Donald Trump has shown himself to be temperamentally unfit to be commander-in-chief. And yet, he knows about the peaceful transition of power. He knows that there is nothing to be gained by his supporters and Hillary Clinton's supporters being just angry, that they need to channel that they need to take that and keep it focused on the kinds of issues that have been important to him. He knows that as a result of Donald Trump,
How you like it, Jazzy?
immigration reform is under attack. Obamacare,
Do you love it?
the climate agreement, the Iran nuclear deal, all of that. And yet he stood there and said, I've lost an election before. Joe hasn't. Even a little bit of humor at a time when he's looking out at 100 staff members who may indeed feel despondent this morning. But that's the way politics works. And the president sending a clear signal to his supporters, to his staff, and I would say one more thing, a call